Hello again, this is Tom Kirkham with Eagle Mountain Solar Plumbing and Heating. Most of you probably know me as a tankless water heater guy. But if gas supply to your house, whether it's propane or natural, is not an option, and all you have is electric, this is my recommendation. This is what's called a hybrid electric heat pump water heater. This top black section here is a heat pump. The bottom section is your standard electric water heater. In these two compartments has your normal water heater elements like you're used to seeing. But what's new about this is this top piece. And I referred to it as a heat pump. If you have a home that's all electric, you more than likely have a heat pump that heats and cools your house through your HVAC system. Outside is a condenser with a compressor in it that will either take heat from inside the house and distribute it to the outside, or takes the heat that's outside and distributes it inside. This unit does the same thing. This heat pump that's on top will take the air from this garage, run through it, and turn the heat that's in the air into heat for the water. So they call it a hybrid unit because it's got electric only capacity or heat pump capacity or both. So I recommend this. They're a little more money, but when it comes to energy efficiency, this is the most energy efficient electric heating system you can put in your home. And it hooks up just like any other standard electric water heater. Like I say, it's 220, so you have your normal 220 that you have for your electric that will hook right into the heat pump and make the whole system operate. You have your normal expansion tank that all water heaters will have, a hot water recirculation pump, and those of you that have that in your home know that that takes that hot water to your furthest fixture and back. So when you open your faucet, you don't waste a bunch of cold. You have hot water there right away. So this hooks up to any fully electric system that has 220. Like I say, they are more money. They're about 3 times the cost of a regular electric heater itself, but they pay for themselves in a very short period of time. You do have an energy efficiency setting on here. You have a hybrid setting, you have an electric setting, and a vacation setting. So when you go away, instead of having to fuss with anything, you run this down to vacation and it just idles nice and warm. So when you get home, your water is not ice cold, but it hasn't been producing the same amount of heat it would if you had a demand on it when you were here. The electric setting, if you want this thing to be whisper quiet for whatever reason and you go to electric, it's just going to heat through the 2 electric coils that are operated by the 220 circuit. When you go to hybrid, it switches back and forth to which is most efficient. So let's say it's a cold winter day, it's 42 degrees in your garage. If it gets that cold and the heat pump wants to come on, the heat pump goes, you know, it's 42, it's going to work I'm going to have to work really hard to get some heat out of that 42. Let's just run the electric. The brain inside this will just run electric. But in the summer, spring or summer, or even the fall before it gets too cold, when your garage is fairly warm, in the 60s, maybe the 70s in your garage, even when it's all closed up, your heat pump's going to say, hey, I can pull plenty of heat out of that, so let's operate the heat pump and not do the coils. So that's the hybrid setting. And then they have an efficiency setting, which it goes back and forth between the two, but it's a very, very, very slow recovery. It thinks a little bit more about it, but you can run through your hot water pretty quick and it doesn't catch up as fast. So the best setting on this is hybrid, where it's using both the electric and the heat pump as efficient and as quick as it possibly can to get a good recovery. Now another thing you have with a standard electric water heater is if you have let's say a 50-gallon heater and you go through all that 50 gallons of water really quick because maybe everyone's showering, you're doing your laundry and your dishes and everything, and the thing goes cold, you'll get about 25 gallons an hour recovery on that. Well, this is an 80-gallon tank, and it gets its equal output or equal gallonage to its equal output. So this will recover that 80 gallons every hour. So it even heats the water quicker than a standard electric for a lot less money. So if you don't have natural gas or you don't have propane and you're electric only, this is the way to go. A.O. Smith is a real good manufacturer of this unit, and yeah, There you go. Hybrid hot water heating electric style.